is Christy Rose, and this is my mom, Judy Rose. And the purpose of these videos is to have an opportunity for my mom to share her wisdom and life experience. And I've been wanting her to write a book for a long time, and that hasn't come to pass. So these videos are something that can still capture her wisdom and document it, but also share it with others. So just a brief introduction. My mom is the mother of 7 children, 5 boys and 2 girls, and she homeschooled all of us through elementary age to the end of high school. And so she just has a lot of wisdom, a lot of life experience, and we hope that these are an encouragement. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Mom, and you can introduce what you'd like to talk about today.
All right, this is a new adventure for us. The route has been chosen by my daughters, and so you're just along for the ride. This is new for me. I just wanted to share some things that were helpful when we had small children. I remember going to a house when we just had the 3, and they were young, and one of the 3 wanted to open every door in the house and use every bathroom. Now, I don't know about you, but I wasn't ready to have every door in my house and every closet opened up by visitors. So I thought, And I was reading in the Bible, and of course this context is totally different, but it says we had not known sin except by the law. And I thought, children don't come pre-programmed with what is acceptable in our culture for visiting and for shopping and for riding in the car. So I thought, you know what? We need to train the children, get them ready for these experiences, so we're not just responding to the problem, but and scolding them, but we can train them. So we started having some visiting rules. We started out with, we had the 4 rows visiting rules, and we do not ask for anything except water, but if offered, you're welcome to accept if it's something that you'd like. We do not open doors or go into any room or play with their toys unless invited to do that. And we do not tattle on other people's children. Now, I would be there with them and visiting, and if there was a problem, I told them they could come to me quietly and tell me. And before we leave, we would offer to pick up the toys. Well, gelling it down to 4 behavior expectations helped them, because on the way to visiting, we would, we'd say, what are the 4 visiting rules? And everybody would love to quote them. So that kind of gave them an expectation and what was acceptable, and we did that also for riding in the car rules, for shopping rules, for being at church. And so it was proactive instead of reactive when situations came up.
And I could just, if I could cut in real quick, Mom, say that it was fun for us kids because it made this a game, and it was fun for us to be able to know the rules and be able to share them when we were about to go somewhere. And so as children, I think we enjoyed having those guidelines. It didn't feel restrictive to us as kids.
And sometimes you're going to be taking your children into situations which is a new experience for them. I remember on a Saturday morning I needed to go to the bank, and I needed to take the children with me. And so before we left, we were in our kitchen, and I says, okay, we're going to the bank. And I says, we're going to stand in line, and we're going to take a few steps and then stop while somebody else is getting their business done. So let's practice that. And so they followed me around, and we took a few steps and stopped, and we took a few more steps and stopped, and then I said, we're going to get up to a counter, and a lady's going to be behind a glass, and she's going to help me. And so I also, when we were practicing the stepping and stopping, I said, there's going to be these kind of funny rope things between posts, and we can't touch those or pull on those because they'd all fall down. And then when we get up to the teller, we'll just, she'll help me, and she might look at you and say something nice, and you smile and can say thank you, and then we will leave. Well, they did wonderfully because they knew what was expected for that new situation. And so I went to the bank, that same bank, on a Saturday a couple months, no, I guess it was about 3 or 4 weeks later, and one of the tellers says, we're still talking about your children. Well, my children weren't anything unusual. They just as likely want to swing on the ropes and run around and explore. But we did some proactive preparation, and that's what's so helpful. It's easy to be embarrassed by your children's behavior and react on the spot, but it's better to prepare them and be able to compliment them on doing so well. So that's just one tip that kind of worked for us, and just an encouragement to see any new problem. If you're someplace like that visiting where one of my children wanted to go all over and open every closet.
And that wasn't me. I'll just say that.
Okay, we narrowed it down a little bit there. But just if you see that, think, okay, we need to do some training in this area, and we need to prepare them so that they know what is expected. But the biggest thing I think is just to realize, God gives an example of parenting. I love the verse Isaiah 40:11, and it says, "He shall feed his flock like a shepherd. He shall gather the lambs with his arm, and carry them in his bosom, and shall gently lead those that are with young." Well, I was looking up this week what the Hebrew meaning of some of those words are, and it says he shall feed his flock, and the term there is kind of an endearing term that seemed to be associating with it as a friend and as with a kind attitude, like a shepherd, and that's where we get the word pastor from. Wanting to help somebody be successful. And he shall gather the lambs with his arms. It's just a gentle way there, and carry them. And the thing that struck me the most about this verse when I looked up the Hebrew today, this week, was he shall gently lead those who are with young. And I looked up the Psalms about his gentleness has made me great. Well, the gentleness, we want our children to grow in wisdom and stature and favor with God and man. Now, the stature works easily because you're feeding them, and that just happens automatically. But to grow in wisdom and favor with God and man is something that God brings us into and helps us be involved in the parenting and the training. So I was looking at that verse about, and shall gently lead those that are with young, and his gentleness has made me great. And I found out, and from the Strong's Concordance of the Hebrew meaning on that, was the gentle is to run with sparkle. Now, we can do everything right with our parenting and have all kinds of ideas and plans, but children respond to your joy, your contentment, your excitement, enthusiasm, and that sparkle. And this last week, we were on a trip the Sunday before last and missed the sermon, and there was a visiting pastor from England, and he was talking about reflecting the glory of the Lord. And it's really the glory of the Lord, his goodness and his mercy and his kindness. He does rule, and he wants us to rule in our homes, but he wants us to do it with joy and love and gentleness. So that's my little encouragement for today. And I hope this has been helpful, and I don't know who's listening, but I just want to be a blessing. Remember, this week, think about, are you parenting? Are you mothering with sparkle? Thank you.
And we're hoping to get practical questions from anyone who's watching this. If you have a question for my mom on mothering or being a wife or just any life question, you can send that to me and we'll be happy to try and answer that on a future video post. So, thank you, Mom.
Thanks, Christy.